Welcome to TIA Talks. My name is Jason, your host, and today is a very special episode. It's all about what you might have seen on TV. You may have not seen it on TV, but the Insurance Apprentice is back. It's on TV. It's on E-Extra. I think it's Saturdays at 6:40 in the evenings, and Sundays it repeat at 10 o'clock. And just if you haven't got enough of us, it's on Mondays on YouTube. So catch up with us. You're going to see a lot that happens in this new season is completely different to what's happened in previous seasons. And I'm super excited to actually talk about it because I've got two guys in this studio that experienced the first episode firsthand. They were there. We've got the main judge of the show, the guest judge, Zanele. Welcome. Zanele was part of the sponsor group on Aon. Aon actually sponsored the first episode, so Thank you for that. Aon's always brought amazing tasks. I remember when Dr. Nwandle put up the last one. It was incredible. And I think she actually fired me. Wasn't she the lady that fired me? I'm not even sure. I can't remember. But we've also got Mfundo. Mfundo, welcome. You are the first contestant ever in the history of TIA. Okay, the Insurance Apprentice, that's the one I'm going to use, TIA. People need to get used to that. That has ever made it onto TIA Talks that was not part of the top 10. We will see. He got kicked. He's one of the guys that got kicked first in the new season. So welcome, Mfundo. Thank you for having the courage to actually join us. You gave me a lot of laughs, and you also gave me a lot of encouragement, and made me realize that even if you're in finance, you don't actually have to do your job. So I'm just kidding. Wow. And there will be context coming, I promise. But I think what I want to start with is just who you are, because I think people don't know necessarily who the powerhouses in the insurance industry actually are. So Zanele, I'm going to start with you, the actual powerhouse.
The actual powerhouse.
Please tell us who you are and what you do.
All right, so I'm here representing a powerhouse, which is Aon. My name is Zanele Dintwa. I am the head of HR. I'll keep it simple.
You must just look her up on LinkedIn, and you'll see that long explanation.
Yeah, Chief Human Resources, etc. But in essence, looking after the talent strategy at Aon. And been part of the Insurance Apprentice project for a while now. I don't know exactly how many years, but in the back end, we've been sponsoring. Me myself.
Is it?
With Aon.
So you know TIA.
I know TIA. I've always been involved, whether it's brainstorming the episodes or the tasks, or I think once or twice I've been part of the elimination rounds where I'm helping in the back, etc. So it's a project. I knew she looked familiar. It's a project that, together with the founder, Rianet, is close to Aon because it speaks to the heart of the talent in our industry. Yeah.
And that sits in line with exactly what you do on a daily basis. So thank you for adding value to the TIA family. I think that's actually very important. We've got professionals looking at the professionals on the show, and it's not just willy-nilly judges making decisions. It's people that are actually doing this on a daily basis. Looking for talent in the right areas. Fitting the right space. Mfundo, what do you do?
So Mfundo Ntuli, I'm the financial accountant. No, actually. Senior financial accountant. I just got promoted.
Congrats. Was it because of TIA?
No.
Okay. Because I wouldn't think so, because you didn't make it very far.
Wow.
I'm sorry.
No, I think no, it wasn't part of TIA. It's just hard work.
Yeah, good.
Efforts, pushing. So I just got promoted now to senior financial accountant. So I work at HDI Global. It's an international company. So we're a small team. I think there's 4 of us in finance, but we slowly growing.
4 in finance. Just from some experience, that means that you don't have time.
It's going down.
What was that word?
Ziakala.
Yeah, what does that mean?
It means
it's on. It's on.
Yeah.
Always on.
It's always on. We currently have Q1 right now, group reporting, and we don't sleep.
Yeah.
We don't sleep. So for the first 2 weeks, it's overtime like crazy. But after that, it's chilled. So yeah.
Yeah, that's good. I know that you went through quite a lot while you were on TIA.
Yeah.
I'll get into that a little bit later. But Zanele, I wanted to ask you just around your position at Aon and stuff. For the viewers that don't know who Aon is, or who Aon are, is I think the better word.
Yeah.
But I understand you guys as brokers
Yes, we are the leading broker globally.
globally.
Yes.
Okay, let's not rub it in. I'm a broker. I'm a broker too. Okay, so like let's just chill, Paula. Okay, tell me about Aon. So they're brokers and they're leaders globally.
Yes.
I'm very impressed when I see Aon in the market. I do think that you guys are doing a great job.
Yeah.
Very difficult to compete with you guys on any
It's
avenue,
almost impossible,
you know?
right?
Well, we
So
do.
We are a leading broker globally in over 120 countries.
Sure.
Workforce 60,000 strong now, headquartered out of the US. And so, we've grown over the years through acquisitions. And our strategy being a global is really to leverage the global expertise, some of which, were part of this episode and the making of it, of the task. But how do we bring it back locally? And how do we use the local knowledge to present solutions that are relevant to our clients from a human capital perspective and from a risk capital perspective?
So, in terms of the local market, are you seeing that we are ahead of the insurers abroad? Or do you think we have a little bit of catching up to still do?
Sure. I think now, 2026, over the past couple of years, there's a lot happening in terms of leveraging AI, for example, and how we actually use risk analyzers to be more proactive in the advice that we give to our clients. So I do think South Africa's got some work in catching up to that.
Yeah.
But what we do have and that cannot be replaced is really that human touch and the relationships that you can harness locally because you know the local market. So it's a balance. It's a balance of both. There are things that we definitely can develop into, but I still think we hold our own.
Yeah.
Locally.
And in terms of the size of Aon, I mean, you growing, it's massive. Has AI and the development of other technologies in the risk management space and the surveying space and the risk assessment space, has the development of that technology almost kind of, because you're so big, you said you had the human touch, has it made it better?
That's the point,
yeah.
right? Is to partner with AI. So AI is not really about replacing the number of people that you hire. But what it does, it helps the people that you have to focus on really the value adding aspects of the work.
Love it.
Right now, because you've got things that are automated, you've got information is more at your fingertips. Your role, however, is still to analyze and is still to make it relevant for your client. So I can't remember your question exactly, but I'm pretty sure I've answered you.
Yeah, I think it does build a unique kind of advantage if you use AI in the right way.
Absolutely.
And I think you need to be a critical thinker. I've mentioned this to so many people.
Yeah.
If you and I think you being in HR will see that. People will come out of school or whatever looking for a job. And the one thing I would look at as an employer is, can you actually think? Because nowadays AI can do the job, give me the information at my fingertips. But can I think about this information, process it in a way that's human, and apply it to a situation? So
selection of talent, if I may, must also evolve, right? Because now everybody runs their CV through an AI tool to match the job advert. Yeah. So how you then
I never knew
select.
I never thought about matching the advert to the CV. Like,
everybody now does that.
Wow.
So every CV comes and it looks like it will
Otherwise,
fit the job.
they'll kick you out.
Yeah.
Because if it doesn't match, it just kicks you out.
Wow.
That's
so you've done it?
No, my wife has done it.
Okay, let's throw her under the bus.
So I think the point that I'm making is we are still looking to see you. Not the fact that you can use an AI tool really well, but we still want to understand how you can bring your talent, your capability, your analytical thinking, all of those skills that are key for today and for the future. We still need to see that come across.
Can I ask how? How do you see that via the CV? How can one better improve?
Asking for a friend. Okay, so let's rephrase that.
Yeah.
As somebody who is searching for talent,
Yes.
Yeah.
that when you get an email from the person looking for a job, what would be something that you are looking for to receive in that email, and what don't you want to get?
You don't want to get generic sort of
AI
responses
stuff, yeah.
because unfortunately you can tell that something is AI assisted. I know people try very hard with the prompts to make it sound like me, but you can tell usually, and the structure that it follows is typically the same. So you really are looking for the skills that have been acquired. You want a CV that also just demonstrates more than just a job spec, demonstrates, what's the word I'm looking for? A proven track record of certain things that we are looking for. So that becomes the basis upon which now we're going to sit in front of you and interview so you can tell us more about some of your achievements to date. So it's a number of things, but that's definitely one of them.
If I sent you an email explaining I'm looking for a job, this is my story, this is who I am, and here's a link to my LinkedIn, would that suffice?
Look, LinkedIn, like any other tool, we do use proactively anyway to look for talent in the market. So I wouldn't say that will suffice.
Yeah.
But
Or just to
if
get the
you
conversation going.
haven't come up on our LinkedIn search, that maybe we'll have a look and see. But chances are you've come up already on our LinkedIn search.
And you
Chances
didn't want
are
me.
sometimes
So
we've
maybe
reached
you
out
didn't
to
want
you
me.
already.
Yeah, I'm sure I didn't answer Aon's call like the last 5 years of my life. They probably weren't phoning. Anyway, you've got 60,000 good enough people in your company. I wanted to get back to TIA because the first episode was really like, it was impressive to me. I was on the season that was just before TV. Then I watched, so it was a good production. Then I saw it on TV and it was a great production.
Yeah.
Or good, great. And then I saw this first episode and I thought, wow, like we've leveled up, TIA is leveled up. The production value, just everything, even the game itself, because I like to call it a game.
Okay.
And we saw it in this episode. There were the top 20, and Mfundo, you were in that top 20.
Yeah.
Before we actually even get into the top 20, I've got a question that just popped into my head.
Okay.
But how did you find the pre-elimination rounds? What happened in those rounds and how did that go? Because I know that people often struggle to be like, okay, where do I apply for this thing?
Yeah.
So tell me your journey actually. How did you find out about TIA?
Okay.
How did you get and how did you apply?
Okay.
And then how did that pre-elimination round go?
Okay. So I saw TIA on YouTube actually.
YouTube.
Yeah, YouTube.
Damn straight. He also watches this.
Just by accident.
By accident on YouTube. And I'm like, okay. I'm lying actually. I was on LinkedIn. Someone posted Temwa who won. I'm like, Temwa. Then I went on
Do you
YouTube.
know Temwa?
Yeah. I know him.
Okay.
And my mentor is Rain. And then Rain was second.
So Rain was your mentor
He's
through
my mentor.
Grass and
Roots and Wings.
Roots and Wings.
Yeah.
Okay, so just if you've been following the seasons that we've had of TIA Talks, we've been talking about a whole bunch of different mentee and mentor programs and things that actually help people.
Yeah.
And I'm actually like, so Rain, who was in TIA, was your mentor.
Yeah, Roots and Wings.
And at Roots and Wings.
Yeah.
And that's a Hollowed initiative, eh?
No, it's IIG.
IIG initiative.
He actually helped me get the promotion, actually. We set up the structure, the plan, how do I add value, how do I stand out from the rest and all those things, and proving that my hard work can be seen, but how can you show it to your managers? So he helped me, actually.
Yeah.
We achieved,
Shout out, Rain.
Yeah, no, shout out to him, eh? We achieved all our goals except for...
weight loss.
That's the only one, but everything else that I wanted, I achieved thanks to Rain. So he helped me.
And was top 10 on your list.
I didn't think I was gonna make it even to top 50. If I'm being honest, it was it's grueling. It was
So so tell me how.
Yeah, so from LinkedIn went on YouTube, saw the episodes. I'm like, also me, I can do this. Then I first sent out an email. I checked the FIA website. I saw it was already closed. I'm like, damn, okay. Then I sent out
Who do I know?
Yeah. Sent out an email to, I think it's Maria. She said, no, what, they're only opening the following year. Please apply. Then I
Mara,
applied.
shout out.
Yeah.
Mara,
Then I applied. And then after applying, I got the letter that I made it to the top 100.
Yeah.
So top 100, there's a lot of people there. And I was intimidated. I won't lie.
Did you do it in Gauteng?
Yeah, in Gauteng.
Okay,
In Gauteng, I was intimidated. There was a lot of brilliant people. Head of this, head of that.
Yeah.
This, that, actuaries.
Did you meet a lot of people on the
met
day?
a lot of people.
Because I think your shared trauma,
Yeah.
the 100 people, you
Yeah.
actually do like network on that
Yeah.
day quite a bit.
Yeah. And, you
And I
get
think
people-
it's set up like that too.
Yeah.
There's like a whole bunch of stations and like
Yeah.
ways to network on
That's
the
true.
day. Yeah.
Yeah, so I
Anyway.
took advantage of that. So I think that's why I also chose Terrell to be in my team, because I met him there. And funny enough, I'd met his boss before at Insure AI. That's how I chose him. But I was intimidated on that because some people come
This
in.
industry is small.
Yeah,
eh?
well, they,
Wow.
yeah, well, so I'm head of what. Some people twang, and then you're like, oh, okay. Yeah. So it was quite intimidating. And in the first elimination round, funny enough, Dumi, I think he's also in the top 20.
Okay.
So there was a pitch idea we had to do for the elimination round. So now Dumi was before me. He was supposed to go before me to go pitch, but he didn't go before me. So I asked him for help. He turned his back, carried on working.
Yeah.
And then I'm like, Ivo, please help me
So
out.
this is a competition now.
Yeah, it's a competition. That's when I saw it. Oh, okay, people are playing the game here. And then I went in, I crashed.
Yeah.
But luckily, I made it.
Somehow.
Jesus.
You had something about you. And I think, Mfundo, before I even move on,
Yeah.
there is something about you.
Yeah.
And that's why you're on the show too. Like out of the whole top 20, we could have invited any one of the 10
Yeah.
that actually were eliminated on the first episode.
Yeah.
But you were the one that we chose because you left a mark on the show and on the viewers. And I think there was a reason for that, So before you continue, I just wanted to mention that,
thank
there
you.
is something about you. I mean,
Yeah.
and the fact that you mentioned Rain was your mentor
Yeah.
and stuff, there's a lot of things that happen in our industry that people don't see.
Yeah.
And it's relationships like that
Yeah.
that show me who you can be and who you are.
Yeah.
There's trusted people in the industry. Rain is one of them.
Yeah.
And to give you his time means that you have something that is worth it.
Yeah.
So I just wanted to mention it.
No, thank you.
Anyway, so it was grueling and people were covering their stuff.
People but made it to top 50. When he saw me, he didn't expect I was going to make it. So there was something else. And then top 20 was also something eye-opening.
So this is now this episode.
Now this episode,
Okay.
I think you guys will see it. When Ranzo was busy explaining, I think it was you who asked her a question. And he's like, no, Mfundo, speak up. I'm like, that wasn't in the briefing. What do you mean?
Yeah.
So already caught me off guard. And then after that, and then the English as usual.
Just runs out.
Ran out of the bundle.
Yeah.
Okay, so before we even look at what happened
Yeah.
on the show, I think let's talk the task because Aon set a beautiful task. I was frothing at the mouth watching the task because I was like, I would have dominated this. I really, but then I thought about it and I remembered that I always said it. Every time I watched a TIA task, I would be like, this is easy. I can do it.
Yeah.
And then we forget that there's a 2-hour time pressure. There's things that have happened now in this season that I'm seeing there are a lot of little curveballs being thrown, which I think the auction came up in this episode. So I saw that there was a lot of gamification and competition between there was a lot of infighting and stuff, drama already.
Yeah.
And people weren't scared to actually be themselves. So I want to get into the task and actually talk about the technicalities of the task. So we'll bring it up on the screen now and we'll have a look at what Aon put together. So each team adopted a real everyday Mzansi business. Identify the 3 biggest risks that could hurt that business in the next 12 months and then build a practical 90-day survival plan using a budget of 100,000. And then we've got those 4 points that we had to, of the different businesses that we would look at. Firstly, I liked the fact that you chose those different businesses. I thought it was quite cool. They were different industries. It meant that no one had the same answer. But maybe if we just break down for the viewers what this actually means, because we saw a few different answers and I was a little bit confused as to what the judges were wanting, but not because the task was confusing. It was quite clear what they had to do. And one of the groups, I think, didn't even get to that point of making a 90-day survival plan. They literally just identified risks, which is not wrong. But again, we've got 2 hours and maybe they didn't even get there yet. So explain the task from a mindset of an everyday, real life kind of example of what you've dealt with at Aon.
Okay, so simply put, we were saying to people in the industry and its experts, we are in the risk management space, right? We know that risks emerge with time and they're forever changing. So one of the things that Aon does annually is a risk survey, global risk survey, where on a global basis, we speak to a lot of CEOs and to say, what is on your mind? What are the biggest risks that you think you're facing now or will impact your business in the next 12 months? And so we gather all this data and we come up with a very comprehensive report that we share in the market, we share it with our clients. So the task...
Where do we get access to that?
LinkedIn. If you can follow Aon on LinkedIn.
Okay. Cool.
Yeah, or I can just send it to you. But we do put it out. So...
Got a number.
The task is really around identifying the risks for this particular business. And for you to do that, you need to understand the business. And that is why you've got different types of businesses. Because if you're good at what you do, you will know typically this type of business will have these types of risks more than another type of business. So it's about identifying what is most probable from a risk perspective. So identification. Analysis, that's the next step. Analyze that particular risk and how it may impact this particular business. And then lastly, come up with mitigations. So it's a 3-step process. So very simple, right? But the implementation thereof, not so much, because there's also curveballs, right? We need you to come up with this 90-day survival plan based on your analysis and what you think this business will need within a budget. Because that's a reality. Nobody is working in an environment where there's unlimited time and unlimited resources.
Let's get security. Let's do this.
So resources are always constrained. So you wanted to see, one, that the contestants are applying their mind in terms of prioritization, because part of getting to that plan is what is priority and how you're going to spend that money. You wanted to get from them their thought process, and you wanted to see that whatever solution that they come up with is actually implementable. It's practical, right? There's no use coming up with a solution and you cannot implement.
For that specific business.
For that specific business. So I think where we saw in the presentations where a lot of the teams really didn't get the point of the exercise was unpacking the type of business. I mean, simple things like how big is the business? How many people are employed in that business? Because that impacts the types of risks that you are likely going to come across. And so we were looking at various aspects of how do you understand this business that you are now proposing these solutions for. So very interesting. And I think, different teams took it differently. It was interesting to see, maybe some of the things you're not going to see on the screen, but different thought processes coming out in the rooms as they were discussing. Some really brilliant ideas that never made it to the presentations at the end of the day, which happens because you're dealing with personalities. You're dealing
and
with
the stronger one will win at the end of the day.
So it was very interesting to watch how they were thinking and ultimately what they presented to the judges at the end of the day.
Mfundo, you've had a long time to think about this task.
Yeah.
Do you want to go again?
Yeah. So
no, I'm just. You don't have to go. You don't have to go into detail. I'm just kidding.
Yeah.
But from a contestant point of view, what was your feeling around the task? Because when we were contestants, the brief is a lot longer than this paragraph.
Yeah,
obviously,
it is.
you get a document pack, you go through it.
Yeah.
There's research that gets put together.
Yes.
You probably had access to that survey report.
Yeah.
So from a contestant point of view, how did you find the task, and what was the vibe around the room with the different groups?
It was interesting. I think that's actually where we first clashed. I think the first one was between Terrell and I. where they came up with the risk and everything. I was happy with them coming up with the risk, but I said, okay, there's a budget element. I'm in finance.
Yeah.
How are you going to meet the budget? No, this. Then we started fighting, but it was quite interesting seeing people from different industries. So I was lucky in our team that we had someone who's a broker, someone who's an actuary, someone who's in compliance. So that, and there's two people from finance. So it was.
Is Gugu in your team?
No.
Oh, okay.
Gugu
'Cause
was
she
in my
brought
team.
up the compliance thing a lot.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think mine was Lebo. Lebo was the one who's in compliance.
Okay.
So we were quite gelled. So when they came with the risk, another person came with the compliance, I came with the finance. So I think if you can lean towards your team members and lean towards their strengths, I think everyone will come up on top. That's how we won the first top 50, because we all leaned on everyone's strong parts.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think the lesson to learn though is you can't do it
Alone.
You can't do it alone.
No.
But you also can't lean on your team members
Yeah.
to get you through to the next round.
That's true.
You know, that's the other thing.
Yeah, that's true.
Because I find that
Well, I don't know about that.
not
That you kind of lean on your team members to get you through. There's an element. So I think in the group tasks, right, there's definitely that element. One thing for me that I always find fascinating is, having somebody from compliance or from finance or from IT or anything, whereby your core technical skill is not risk
insurance.
management,
Yeah.
is
Yeah.
not insurance. So I think the point that Mfundo is making to say you have to lean to
because
or
you
lean
are outside of
into-
the industry kind of.
yeah. So that for me is key, particularly in those group stages. You absolutely have to rely on each other.
Yeah.
But at the same time, it is a game, and it's not a group one. You're through group two. You're not through. It's still an individual thing. So I think it's very much leaning in, but also making sure that or the value that you've brought into that
Is
process.
enough.
Yes.
Yeah. Or sufficient.
And it's visible.
Yeah.
I think that's the thing. It's visible enough throughout the process, not just in the presentation to the judges, but just throughout, and how you engage and how you help bring things together, right? Because it's not just about technical skill. People skills come in here. Leadership comes in here. Getting the best out of the people that you are working with comes in here.
Yeah.
So for me, it's all of that, and you absolutely have to lean in
Yeah.
to your team to increase your chances of getting.
Well, I know that firsthand because Rain actually saved my bacon.
Is it?
So we were about to get kicked.
Yeah.
Probably. And he literally, it was his expertise around the rating of what we wanted to do.
Yeah.
And I'll never forget it because he literally took one for the team. And Keba and I were just sitting back hoping that Rain was going to do a good job because we knew nothing. We didn't have the experience, the expertise, nothing.
Yeah.
And Rain had a little bit more of it. But at the end of the day, we got through and he was probably the most impressive out of that group.
Yeah.
And I think we showed him the trust that he needed. And I saw that in some of the teams. So there was one team I really thought did well based on what I saw on the show. But they missed the 90-day survival plan or something.
That was such
and
a
I thought,
pity.
I
Was such
I thought
a
they would,
pity.
if they just went the next step,
Yeah.
that was clear winner for me.
Yeah.
They really did a good job. But you could see they gelled. They had a good team dynamic. The other two, there was a lot of infighting that I saw, a few comments being thrown, and the interviews of all the contestants. That was those two groups. They spoke about each other. They didn't speak about the task and how it's actually really going well. It was actually no, I can't get along with this person. I can't get along with this person. Now, yes, editing does play a role. So I know it wasn't all bad.
Yeah.
But I think, what did you expect other than? We've spoken about some of the solutions that came through.
Yeah.
If we take one of those examples, how would you have broken down like a solution, just a framework of the solution?
Okay. So, we prompted them in the first place. We did provide, we provided a risk toolbox or toolkit with some of the solutions that they could consider coming out of our risk reports. So there was some prompting. What I expected was understand your client. I think that's basic. If you are any kind of professional, you are not going to get far if you don't understand the client that you are dealing with. So that was the very first expectation. The second expectation is use the tools that you've been given, use the prompts that you have been given, because they are there for a reason, and have the debates, but make sure that you remain relevant in terms of what is on your client's mind. So I think there was the one team that was in the medical space. And there was that compliance and regulatory risk. And none of them, I think when they were talking in the background, they talked about it. But when they presented, none of that came through. And yet we are in South Africa, we've got NHI. Well, at that time, you had, all that buzz around NHI, and yet nobody thought to pick it up. So
And Gugu mentioned it.
the expectation,
Gugu mentioned it.
Gugu mentioned it, but in the room,
They didn't bring it in. They didn't bring it into the
in the
presentation.
room, it didn't come up. So
Gugu, well done. Well done, Gugu.
And for me, it's around, the expectation is, put yourself in your client's shoes. If you are running this business, what are some of the things that you would be worried about?
Yeah.
And sure, not everything has got an insurance solution, or but it
But
is
there's a
on
risk.
it is on my mind nonetheless.
Yeah.
As somebody in that particular field. So that was the expectation. Zoom in on what is most important for your client.
Zanele, can I touch on that just quickly? Sure. Because I think as a broker, we understand that, or as brokers, we do understand client first. Know your client, understand the industry, understand what their business needs. What is their family like? Like we go into the nitty gritty, like what toothpaste do you like to use? Not often, but anyway. But do you think that the task threw some of the people off that aren't dealing with client facing? So I'm talking about the bigger insurers and other UMAs and stuff out there that don't directly deal with the business on the ground or the person on the ground that we insure. Do you think it's like they're not really aware of it? Because yes, we build product and we develop products with the client in mind and all those things. But do you think that's a factor? Because I really thought that this was up my alley. I mean, I would have won this season. Yeah. If anyone wants to know, this season is my season just based on the first one.
But I mean, no. So in any work or profession that you do, you're serving someone. It could be the end customer, it could be the intermediary, it could be your internal clients. In finance, you are serving somebody.
Know them.
So whoever it is you are serving, that is your primary stakeholders.
Yeah.
And you need to understand what is important to those primary stakeholders. So as much as it was a broker-friendly task, I still think the principles should apply.
They do, yeah.
In any profession, if you're going to add value and you're going to be paid for what you do, best understand what is important to the people that you're trying to help.
The reason I asked that question is actually because I think when I was doing the first task in my elimination round, it was very risk focused and it was cradle to grave kind of what we should do. And for me, I literally just went on experience, went into the room, blew the judges away, and I was like, sweet, this game is going to be easy. But there were a few that were like, but that was built for a broker. That was built for this. And I questioned that because I said, no, I don't believe that, because I think that you guys should know these things. It's risk management at the end of the day. It's not outside of, it's not selling to somebody or giving advice. It's literally, So I bring it up just to understand if you thought that, but you put my mind at ease.
Okay.
Yeah.
Happy.
Okay.
I think also it's the personality aspect of it. So sometimes, or some people have ideas, but if a broker were to say, no, actually you're wrong, whereby that person had backup and proof, but just because they felt intimidated by the next person, they'll keep quiet and keep it to themselves.
So how does that actually play out in terms of your own level of confidence? If you are not a broker and you're doing a task like this, and you're in finance, or how does that play out with your own level of comfort or confidence?
For me, also coming from an audit background, it's facts. If I have my facts here and I'm confident about something, you can come and say I have 10 years in brokerage, I don't care, but the fact says 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So I think also having a strong personality and be willing to say no to some people and stand your ground, I think that's where you should distinguish yourself between the rest. But I saw that some people, especially in the top 50, that's the reason why most people dropped out, is because they couldn't stand up for what they wanted to say. And through that, they didn't make it to the top 20. We had a great idea in the top 50, and I think one of the other national brokers liked our idea so much. But now the person who came up with the idea at first was not, what's the word? Was not confident about.
Assertive.
Yes, because
Yeah.
they kept on attacking her and all the other things. But she stood her ground, and then we eventually made it with her to top 20.
There's a lesson there for, I think, a lot of people.
Yeah.
You know, the bully and the not bully.
Yeah.
The bullied.
Yeah.
You know, I think there's a line to draw, and I think you'll notice it a lot, Zanele, or maybe not in Aon, but just in general. You know, like I think we need to hear people,
Yeah.
not just listen to respond, because I think somebody said that in the episode.
Yeah.
You know, was it you?
No.
Oh. I don't know. It was somebody.
somebody,
But like we mustn't just listen to respond. You know, we listen to actually understand, to hear where that person's coming from, and to build a kind of picture of who you are as a person.
Yeah.
You know. So anyway, but I want to show the audience something behind the scenes. So I'm going to put on a clip of Mfundo. It's a little BTS. And it's hilarious. So, Mfundo, thank you for making the viewers smile.
Yeah.
I really enjoyed this. So, yeah, let's see what you think.
Finance. I'm like, I so it's around bidding. 5K, 5K. I was losing my mind. And then one of the team was like, no, actually, let's see what he's trying to do. He's trying to bid up the prices for the other team members. And I was like, the reason why I chose it. The reason why I chose this guy gets stage fright quite a lot. And the English always runs away. And I end up mumbling. Funny enough, to be a rapper.
Oh, jeez.
And my mumbling when I'm very nervous about that. So we'll see how.
Yeah, no.
Have you seen that book?
Okay, so you have never seen that before, Mfundo?
Hey, rapper.
What does that mean?
Rapper.
Rapper.
Yeah.
So, what is your aspirations turn to now? Because what people don't know, there was some news that happened while you were on the show.
Yeah.
So tell us about that. Maybe
Yeah.
that added to the stress.
So while I was on the show, my wife was, I think, 1 week due to be in labor.
Yeah.
So always checking, and I had a chat with Ranzo, and she was like, no, what if your wife gives birth now? You know, my date was the 10th, but actually gave birth on the 2nd. I'm like, check it on your wife. I'm like, checking my phone. I'm here with the team, checking my phone.
Yeah.
And then, it was a lot of stress.
Yeah.
It was quite stressful.
I can imagine.
Yeah.
Keba in our season also was
is it?
waiting for his wife to say, you need to leave the show.
Yeah.
Because you stay away from the family for
Yes.
a little while.
Yeah.
You know, you not around.
Yeah.
You know, and we don't have our phones during the day.
Yeah.
You know, so we switched off.
Yes.
So kudos to you. You got through it. But you were losing your mind
Yeah. Whoa.
in that clip.
Yeah.
So just explain to us why and what actually went down.
So when we got the briefing for the auction, I kind of
Because that was the curveball, right?
Yeah. It was the briefing. The auction was the curveball because I kind of saw it coming, because with the solutions that they gave us,
Toolbox.
okay, something's going on here. And then they said it's an auction. When I put one and one together, I'm like, okay, it's an auction and they're auctioning out the solutions. Oh, so our budget is based on 100K. 100K is based on 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So then one of my team members, Terrell, starts upselling people. Everyone.
Yeah.
Things that didn't even apply to us. I'm like, hey, chief, why are you bidding on medical aid? But we're
You're
here.
just getting them to spend.
Exactly. We using training and skills development. I was quite angry. I was frustrated. I'm like, we have 100,000. You're spending.
Don't use it all.
Exactly. In one place. And then
This is the finance guy. you're going to be a good finance guy.
I was stressed. I was losing it. And then one of my team members like, no, man, actually, he's bidding up the price. So I'm like, oh.
But it could have backfired horribly.
It did towards the end.
Yeah.
Towards the end, because we didn't get all our solutions, but we got majority. So it was quite interesting.
Yeah.
So, but it was nerve-wracking for my side because I didn't know. I was blindsided.
Yeah.
Only afterwards, and then I was okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And who I'm going to go a little bit personal now.
Okay.
Who do you think
Yeah.
is your next winner in this season?
Ooh.
Or give me two of your favorites.
Our favorites.
And it doesn't have to be because you like them or
Yeah.
they were nice to you.
Yeah.
Like 2 people that you really think are going to make it all the way.
Top one has to be Tyrell.
Tyrell.
Yeah. Top one for
Okay.
me. From my first interaction on top 100 to top 50 to top 20,
He was the man.
amazing guy. Like even when we went to go present, we were here with notes. Okay, yeah, trying to cram
he
everything.
was just
like,
calm.
okay, done. Like, no, let's make it a conversation.
Hmm.
If you make it a conversation, you won't forget anything. So when he was presenting, he wasn't presenting from notes or
Paper,
anything. It was from what he knew, and he was talking to the judges, and he was able to answer the questions as well. So
You're
Tyrell,
strong. Yeah.
very strong, very
Okay.
strong. Tyrell, Gugu as well.
Gugu too. Yes.
Gugu has an overpowering personality, so I felt like I wasn't in the group,
Yeah.
but I'm sure she dominated the room
Yeah.
in her groups. So
So,
But do
okay,
you
so
think that's a good thing?
yes and no. I think in life,
good answer.
yeah, in life, what's the words? Closed mouths don't get fed. So if you don't talk or speak, or show that you're out there, how am I going to see you? But if you're
Closed
there,
mouths don't get fed.
yeah. So try by all means to put yourself out there. So I felt if Google was in my team, I don't think I was going to make it because it's just strong. And then the third person.
The problem though, sorry, Mfundo, the problem with some strong people, I'm putting in inverted commas,
Yeah,
is that they don't know their limits.
that's true.
With great power comes great responsibility.
Yeah.
And I know it's the Spider-Man quote, but it really does, it really matters,
Yeah.
because we saw a lot of strong people and strong personalities come out over the last few seasons.
Yeah.
But I don't recall one of those people winning. And that's something that I want to just mention just to whoever's watching. We don't need to walk over anybody to get to the top.
Yeah.
However, you still need to be heard
Yes.
in some way, shape, or form.
Yes.
So
It's
speak
the
up,
how.
Yeah.
but how?
It's the how, right? So strong personality, being overly you, that's fine. But it's okay. Let me go back. In my experience, I find that people that have a particular insecurity about something will overcompensate for that, and it comes up in the opposite way.
Damn, that's wisdom.
So I always just watch out for that, because what are you hiding? You're hiding behind this, but what are you hiding? And usually there is something there, some kind of insecurity. And I'm not saying this is the case for
Yeah.
Of
I'm
course.
just saying generally speaking. So it's really just having that self-awareness to say, yes, I want to be heard.
Yeah.
In Sesotho, there's a saying, "Ngwana ya sa leng o shwela tharing." And what that means,
I'll tell you what it is. I'm just kidding.
what that means is a baby, if you've got an infant on your back and they're hungry or wet or whatever, and they don't cry, chances are they can die at the back without, because they haven't said anything or they haven't cried. So that for me is yes, you can be assertive, and please be assertive so that your needs can be known, the value you want to add can be seen, but don't do it by trampling over other people.
Yeah.
That's first and foremost. And there is really no need to be extra just for the sake of being extra. You're pulling attention to yourself.
Yes.
And mostly it's not, we're looking to hear what you are saying, the content. And you better make sure, if you're going to be that personality, that what you are saying is equally valuable.
Yeah.
Otherwise, you just bring attention to yourself and everybody can see that there's nothing behind. It's just a big mouth. So there's a balance for me with personalities.
I actually was going to ask you to close off on some motivational stuff or emotional things or heartfelt things or whatever. But Zanele, that was actually great advice for anyone listening who is in a position, who's struggling with their work environment, and they might think it's everybody else, and it could be them, or vice versa. Maybe they are experiencing this at work or at school or wherever they are. And they just want to be heard, and they know that there are platforms for that.
Yeah.
And it's great to actually see the head of HR at Aon seems to care about people. And I really think that that's cool. It's not like, I don't know if anyone's watched The Office, but there's an HR dude that just sits in the corner and he doesn't say anything, you know, and he's like actually quite creepy, you know, so, and he doesn't care, you know, he tries to care. But Zanele, thank you for being a guest on the show, and also on the Insurance Apprentice. I think you have added a lot of value, not only to the contestants that were there on the day, like Mfundo and the rest, but you added a lot of value today, just by what you've said. You know, it's coming from somebody who knows, and I appreciate that, and I'm sure many viewers will and listeners will also.
Thank you.
Mfundo, do you have any last words before your 5 minutes of fame is all over? There might be more. You never know.
I think I would like to encourage everyone and anyone in the insurance industry to apply for the TIA. It was very, what's the word in English? But I enjoyed it in a sense of...
We have a translator with Zanele, so use whatever language you want to.
Yeah.
So for me...
You know, Mfundo, I've done it before.
Yeah.
Speak your mother tongue, and tell the viewers what you exactly think.
So for me, I'd encourage, especially guys in finance, because when we're looking at the show, there's few percentage of people in finance actually apply for the show. We think it's more for actuaries, it's more for brokers, so on and so forth. But no, it's more about the personality, but also how do you add into the team. So I learned a lot from networking with different people. I've made friends from the show. I've made strong connections from the show. And I think also, you can actually say my promotion was slightly tied to the TIA, I won't lie. Because you're out there. You know how to market yourself now in the right way. So posting on LinkedIn, that's a perfect way, firstly, how you can show the next person, the next employer that actually I'm this person, this is how I differentiate myself from the rest, so on and so forth. So people should apply for the TIA. It's grueling, yes, but it builds character. I'm more confident now. I'm not so sure if I'll join again because it was, the competition is strong, but I think for the networking and connections, I think people should. And also learning something new all the time. I think there's one segment that I learned something new that I didn't know about. I think parametrics. I didn't know about that. Parametrics is a type of insurance that if an event were to happen, they pay out immediately. I didn't know about that. But thanks to TIA, I knew about parametrics. And people who were within TIA knew more about it. So it's quite interesting. So I think people, for self-knowledge as well, should apply.
Yeah, I think you learn a lot. Mfundo, you were a great vibe on the show. You added a lot of value. I gave you all the encouragement I could right in the beginning of this episode. So I probably should have waited. But Mfundo, it was a great pleasure to meet you for the first time today, actually.
Yeah.
And I will definitely tell Rain that he's done a good job in mentoring you.
Yeah.
And I hope that you also mentor somebody in the industry. Because it's not nice to just keep it all to yourself. Impart that knowledge to the next generation. I think that would be great. But guys, thank you so much. Stay tuned for episode 2 of TIA because do you want to go?
Given my, you're still gonna ask me what my.
I wasn't going to because you said so many. Okay, Zanele. Because Zanele wants to. Zanele, you're going to close off. Okay.
So I wanted to just add
on
what Mfundo is saying around encouraging people to apply, right? So not only from different disciplines like finance, compliance, risk, etc. Diversity of that skill is very important for a show like this to succeed, or for anything actually to succeed. What I want to specifically encourage and call out is just also the demographic I noticed in this particular season. We need more young white people to come across.
Damn, I wish I was younger.
And apply for the Insurance Apprentice, because I didn't see a lot of that in this particular season. So for me, that diversity of the people in the show makes the show. So that's what I wanted to add.
That's a refreshing note to end off on.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Zanele, Mfundo,
Yeah, Baba.
Kialibocha.
Oh,
Yeah.
Is that it?
Yeah, it is.
That's it, hey?
That's
You're
just one,
welcome.
yeah.
Thank you. Season 2, the next season on TV. Episode 2 is coming out on Saturday at 6:40. Ziakala TIA.
Aziakar.
Ziakala.
Ziakala.
Ziakar.
Perfect. Great.
Thank you.
Bye.